The tributes and well wishes from all over the world pouring in for former President Jimmy Carter. News came Saturday that the 98-year-old has entered hospice care.
Fox's Madeline Rivera has been following the story, and she joins us now live from Atlanta. Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning, Sandra and Araxia. Well, President Biden is among those praying for President Carter, former President Carter, who's had a decorated life. But people here also remember him as a humble man whom some simply called Mr. Jimmy.
He is genuinely just like a kind person.
The Carter Center announcing over the weekend former President Jimmy Carter has chosen to spend his remaining time with family following a series of short hospital stays. The former peanut farmer served as the governor of Georgia and as president of the United States from 1977 to 1981. After losing his bid for re-election in 1980, Carter returned to Georgia. He is beloved in his hometown of Plains and Atlanta, where he founded the Carter Center. He was also a regular at Manuel's Tavern down the street, which has played host to political bigwigs and pundits for decades.
We have this up here, which is a letter from Jimmy Carter, signed photograph.
In 1970, Carter kicked off his campaign for governor in this spot. This was his restaurant of choice whenever he was in the city. Assistant General Megan Maloof first met the former president at a New Year's Eve celebration a few years ago.
He was so genuine. He walked up to me, he shook my hand, and he kissed me on my cheek. I call that my New Year's kiss. Very cute.
While Carter is respected for his lifetime of duty, service, and humanitarian work, those who met him also recall his impeccable ability to make them feel at ease.
He's lived a long and gracious and positive and productive life.
Going back to President Biden, he and Carter have had a long friendship. In fact, he was the first U.S. senator to endorse Carter's presidential campaign. Sandra and Araxia.
There's so many interesting things about Jimmy Carter, and we're reminded of that now that we're in this place where he is unfortunately in hospice care. But so much of the pomp and circumstance with him did not play out, right? He was all about everything other than that, from the fact that he got rid of Hail to the Chief, which is what is played when a president enters the room. And he sold the presidential yacht. I think many people don't know that at one time there was a presidential yacht, the USS Sequoia. These little tidbits that really paint a picture as to who he was.
He really was. And again, he was a humble person, you know. He had the opportunity to have a lucrative speaking career in Washington. Instead, he chose to come back here to his home state of Georgia. He lives in Plains, Georgia, about two and a half hours away. He lives in the same home that he and his wife Rosalind built in the 1960s. He's obviously spent a lot of time here in Atlanta as well, working at the Carter Center. So yes, he's had so many different aspects of his life and so many people here just paying tribute to him now. Sandra and Araxia.
Yeah, all the charity work he's doing too, and obviously on behalf of so many people who are in need. Thank you so much, Madeline. We'll check back in with you later.